Okay, just look at this wee question. The first one, it's about a circle, right? X squared plus y squared equals 25. So if you were to sketch that out, that's a circle that has radius 5. So it's going to cut there at 5, 5, minus 5, minus 5, where that's the y-axis and that's the x-axis, right? Now, it's saying a point on the circumference is minus 3, 4. That's going to be about there. Okay, there's about minus 3 and there's 4. And it's saying a tangent to that, which I'm drawing in, a tangent to that, you have to find the equation of the tangent. Okay, so what you want to do first of all is find the gradient of the radius. Okay, there's the radius there. And remember, a radius and a tangent meet at 90 degrees. So to get the gradient of that, first thing I've noticed is that radius goes downhill. It's negative, right? So it's going to have a negative gradient, but it's rise over run. Now, because this point, remember, is minus 3, 4. So this is 4 and this is minus 3, right? The rise has a drop of 4 and the run is 3. So the gradient of the radius is minus 4 over 3, minus 4/3. So that's going to be the gradient of this radius here. Now, the tangent is perpendicular to that, which is the negative reciprocal of this gradient, where you flip it and you take the negative of it. So the gradient of the tangent is going to be 3/4. That is where you flip minus 4 over 3 and then take the negative off it. So you see this line here, the tangent, it has a gradient of 3/4, right? Now, to get the equation of a straight line, you need two bits of information. You need the gradient, which is, so I'll just write down gradient, the gradient of the line. That's the first bit of information you need. And the second thing you need is a point that the line passes through. Okay? Now, from what I can see here is the gradient of our tangent. If I pull this down again, there's a tangent there. The gradient is 3/4. So remember, the equation of a straight line is y equals mx plus c. So that's going to be the blueprint for our straight line. That's the tangent. And m is the gradient, and we've already worked that out as 3/4. Okay, so I can write down that y equals 3/4 x plus c. In order to find c, you use the fact that the line goes through the point minus 3, 4. So we know this information that it goes through minus 3, 4. So when x is minus 3, y is 4. So you substitute those two values into this rule, and you get 4 equals 3/4 times minus 3 plus c. So if you tidy this up, if you multiply 3/4 by minus 3, you get 4 equals minus 9 over 4 plus c. And bring that over, you get 4 plus 9 over 4 equals c. Right? Now, if you add these on your calculator, you can do it that there's 16 over 4 plus 9 over 4 is 25 over 4. That's going to be the value of c, 25 over 4. So I know m is 3/4 and I know c is 25 over 4. So I can write now the equation of the tangent is y equals 3/4 x plus 25 over 4. Now, if you look at the answer they're looking you to get is 4y equals 3x plus 25. Okay? So write that on the side here. You can't see that on the camera. It's 4y equals 3x plus 25. That's what they're looking. But that is actually the same as this here, because if you multiply through by 4, you get this above. You get 4y equals 3x plus 25. So that is going to be the answer there. So it is a long question, but that is the best way to do it. To go through it again, you draw the diagram out. There's the point minus 3, 4. there's the radius. You find the gradient of the radius first, which is minus 4/3. Then the perpendicular gradient is going to be the gradient of the tangent, which is 3/4. You get the negative reciprocal. Then what you do is, now you have the gradient of 3/4. You know the line passes through the point minus 3, 4. You start off with y equals mx plus c, and that is the straight line graph for a tangent. You put in m as 3/4, and then you put in your point and you solve it to get c, which was 25/4. And then you put it all together here, and then you times through by 4 to get your answer. Okay? Now, the second part of this, it asks you to solve these two equations together. Okay, so here's what you've got. Y equals x squared plus 6. So I'll just put the page down here. So we've got y equals x squared. Is it plus 6? Hold on, we'll see. Y equals x squared plus 6. And the equation that you had was 4y equals 3x plus 25, right? So it's asking you to find out where that tangent that you found out in part A meets this curve, okay? So here's what you need to do. You need to use substitution like we did in class. So see this x squared plus 6, it's equal to y. So you need to replace it in the bottom equation where there's a y. So what you would write out is 4 times x squared plus 6 equals 3x plus 25. So look at what I've done. I've taken the bottom equation where there's a y and I've replaced it with x squared plus 6. And you end up with a quadratic equation. Now I'm going to multiply this out and rearrange it to make it equal to 0. So you get 4x squared plus 24 equals 3x plus 25. Now bring these two terms over to the left and you get 4x squared minus 3x minus 1 equals 0. Okay, you end up with that. So be careful. You can see how I multiplied that out and rearranged to make it equal to 0. Now I have it in a format where I can use the formula. Now the formula, to remind you, is minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. That's our formula there. If you put the numbers into that, you'll get your 2x answers. Now if you look at this equation, a is 4, b is minus 3, and c is minus 1. Okay, so I'm going to put those in. Minus b is 3, plus or minus the square root of 9, that's b squared, minus 4 times minus 1. Okay, all over 2a, which is 8. So be careful when you're putting the numbers in. Now this works out as 25 underneath, because that's minus 4 times 4 is 6, minus 16 times minus 1 is plus 16, plus 9 is 25, and the square root of 25 is 5. So this is 3 plus or minus the square root of 25 over 8, or 3 plus or minus 5 over 8. So the plus answer is going to be 1. And the minus answer is going to be minus a quarter, because it's going to be minus 2 over 8, right? So you've got your two x answers. So the first x answer is 1, and the second x answer is minus a quarter. What we need to get next are the y answers, okay? Because remember, if you go back up here, you've got two equations that you're solving together, and you've got an x answer, and you need to get the corresponding y answer. So what you need to do is substitute 1 into the top equation for x. And I can do that. If you look up here, if I put 1 in for x in here, you're going to get 7 for y. So y is equal to 7. And if I put minus a quarter in, if I square minus a quarter, I get 1 over 16. And 1 over 16 plus 6 is 6, and 1 over 16. Now, you can multiply that up where you get 16 times 6. 6 sixes are 36. 6 ones are 6 and 3 is 9. So you get that's the same as 97 over 16. So those are the solutions. Now they're saying to you to find out the coordinates of where it crosses. Well, those are the coordinates. It's going to be 1, 7. That's the first one. X is 1, Y is 7. And the second one is minus a quarter and 97 over 16. Okay, quite a difficult question, but that's how you get the answers are. Hopefully that helps.